All right, guys, I'm about to demonstrate to you in this video playing an entire shoe using the Diamond Buster strategy. Remember, the stop loss is more on the side of stop win. So if you should win 3 to 5 units in a shoe, you've done great. I recommend stopping, right? 2 units, you can stop at 2. The less you play, the better it is. However, if you should lose, the losing part is not necessarily a reason to stop. And the reason for that is just because of how we're playing it. We play in what we call a 4-loss cycle. You lose the first 2 hands, that's hands 1 and 2 of the 4. Hands 3 and 4, however, are played on a higher minimum bet, because there is really the pendulum of our advantage, games 3 and 4. So if we should lose 4 in a row, it's not quite of a big deal. The only thing we have to do is just continue to play it out, because we're going to have more games 3 or hands 3 and 4 wins than we're going to have hands 3 and 4 losses, right? And always remember, the key is to listen, if you're playing an entire shoe and you haven't lost, you've gotten over 5 or 10 units, don't just play until it loses. Always think to leave ahead. That's the reason why I say never just play. Always have a goal. But what I'm going to do in this video is play the entire shoe. I want you guys to see what it looks like if we played an entire shoe, how this performs playing an entire shoe. All right, so what we're going to do first is and it looks like he's almost done here, so we should be playing soon here. And remember, so what I'm going to do, he's a few more hands before he's done. We're going to wait it out. So what we're going to do is just give this guy a minute, all right, and go to the next shoe. Once he's done the first 6 outcomes, we're going to play the entire shoe, all right? And I'm going to show you guys what's possible when playing an entire shoe. That's one of the reasons why I say, even if you lose a set cycle, you could really continue to play on through the shoe. All right, the objective is to hit your goal. All right, you always want a goal. All right, you don't want to just play. You can't do that. You just can't do it. You have to have a goal. All right, now the goal per shoe, 3 to 5 units. Can you do more? Yes, you can. And in doing more, even if you lose, it's not a bad thing. It just means you have to play a little longer to make up the losses. That's what that means in what we're doing. All right, it doesn't mean that for every other strategy, but in how this thing has been configured, and my understanding of the pattern rhythm of the game, taking it from the algorithm to now a linear process, it is night and day. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this guy a break. We're going to come back when he's done 6 in on another shoe, and then we'll get started. All right, guys, let's jump right into the game and let's put in the prior outcomes. All right, and we're going to wait for the next outcome. And what we're going to do is play the entire shoe out. All right, whatever comes, what may, because what you have to know is what the system's capable of. One of the reasons I think a lot of quote unquote people who come here as gamblers to me and want to use my systems is that they never leave the gambling part. They don't understand why you have to stop, why there's a need for a stop. All right, so let's go ahead and hit start simulation. It is saying put our chip on player. All right, so developing a need for stop losses and different things like that, the reasons why. However, I also want to show that within this strategy, even if we may not even take losses, because I think a cycle loss only occurs maybe once every other shoe. I mean, it's very rare. So that's one of the reasons I want to show you guys this. But even though that is the case, it still doesn't exonerate it from losing. We could very well have a loss. but our losing, okay, is going to be made up over time. And when I say over time, we're talking about just a few shoes. With this process, the Diamond Buster process, this is unlike anything I've ever done. Very, very systematic in terms of how it's played out. Here's another win. It's a combination of all of the algorithms made linearly. I know it's very scientific sounding or whatever, but that's exactly what it is. All right. And again, we're not even concerned about even losing, because our the games, the cycle that we lose, even though we lose 4 in a row, games 3 and 4 are the games that we're focused on. All right. So as long as we're winning more of those games than we are losing, one loss, games 3 and 4 loss, is only 3 units, okay, at that value. So we just have to play longer to hit games 3 and 4. All right. So it's telling us to continue to play. Apparently, we're playing. So right now we're up at 3 units. So you see how quickly I was able to get 3 units based on this. This is where you take your break. But what I'm going to do is play it all the way out. We want to see what it's capable of. What does it do? How does it do it? Even if there's losses, how do we manage it? All right. Because the truth is when you lose, guys, it's really not a time to go, oh, I need to take a break or something like that. Now, yeah, you can, sure. But the objective is to continue to play. So because our makeup money is going to be made, like, it just depends on your progression. So games 1 and 2, you could do 1 unit, 2 unit. Games 3 and 4, like I said, you can go as high as 5 units. So game 3 will be 5 units. But you can see here what's happening right now. We're literally riding this trend. But we're taking advantage of all of these singular wins. So what you'd want to do is don't make that third game minimum wager too much higher than the first game. So if your first game is starting at 5, the third game should be more than 5 units above that 5. So if it's $5, then the third game would be a maximum of 25. Okay. All right, so we lost that 1 unit, confirmed. All right, so it says play banker. So we're going to go 2 units on banker. Now that's 2 units, okay? So whatever the unit size is, that's 2 units. So if your first unit size is $10, if you go up 1 unit size, or you double, that goes from 10 to 20, like from 1 to 2, all right? Whatever your unit size is. All right, so that's 2. So, all right, so that's 2 lots. So now we're on the third game. So it says banker. So we're going to do 3 units on banker, because our progression style is 1, 2, 3, 6. At least that's mine. All right. And if we should lose that, again, it's not even a problem. We're going to continue to play, because the objective is to play more. The longer we play, trust me, it will rebound itself over time, the way that we're playing. But again, we would have already left, okay, at 3 units. This is a 9 piece, looks like. Lost 2. Well, let's see, 3. Did I do 3 or did I do 2? Player 1, 2. I don't know if I did 3 or I should have did 3 if I didn't. Seems like I did 2. But this is the 4th. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th game. And let's even assume we lose it. We're going to play it all the way through. But again, remember what I talked about. It's a reason why you want to limit. Like if you're up 3 to 5 units in the shoe, take it. Clear of example right here, we lost. All right, so let's go ahead and put that there. Confirm. All right, so it says we're going to play banker. Now, we have a high percentage on winning the next set, a really high, of which, as you grow into this, if you're playing it just straight through like this, like I had one user, so you can see here we're -7, but we were up 3. But this is not a problem, guys. Okay, don't ever think this is a problem. It's not a problem. -1, okay. and it says banker, so we're going to do 2 units on banker. So we reset the cycle. Okay, so we lost the first 4. All right, so now we're on the second cycle. Okay, so we lost the first one. We did a double on that one. All right. Now remember, games 3 and 4 are the games where we have the most advantageousness, if you want. All right. So if you ever got hit or got stuck in a situation like this, just remember, games 3 and 4 are the games. So we won here on the second, which, remember, I just told you that. Let's go ahead and put that here so we can see what to play. All right. After a cycle loss, there is like a 99% chance that it repeats another cycle loss in the way that the algorithms are formed. So you can see here we won the second game. So now we start a whole new cycle back at player. All right. And we play this out. Well, just got a tie here. Because winning is one thing, managing when you lose is another. So you got to understand where our power is. So even though we lost the set, right? We're going to play the rest of the shoe out, and let's see what happens through the course of a shoe, even after having had a cycle loss. Bust him up. Yeah. All right. So let's get that one. Hit that. It now says for us to put our chip on banker. So 1 unit on banker. Now, if you lose a cycle, the following cycle is a high probability of winning between 1 and 4, like 99 something, real high. So if you had the extra funds to play higher, that's a very high percentage chance game or situation. So if you did have more, the more you do this, the better you'll become at recognizing it. But I'm letting you know right up front. Okay, so this is player. And you can see we're only 4 units back at this point. So this is kind of what I'm saying when I say, even if you had a losing cycle, all right, we're going to play this shoe out though. Okay, we're going to play this whole shoe out because we need to see what can it do? What does it do? We want to know, what does it do? What all does it do? What all can it do? Blah, blah, blah. All right, we won again. You could see here is a lot of consistency in winning here. This is the reason why this new update is incredible. But let's just say right now, we're only 3 back. And you say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take a break and come back later. Well, guess what? You just hit a losing cycle, and that cycle only really affected us at this point minus 3 units. So there's really nothing, I'm going to say that we lost, but it's really not that big of a deal because of how it's being played out. Let's see if we can hold this win right here, guys. There we go. All right, so what is it saying for us to do? And you can see we're pretty much all the way back. We're at 2 units, minus 2 units. Now, here's what I will say though, guys, and I don't know if I made this a point. If you lose a cycle and you stay in the shoe, the moment you are back even, or even once you've hit your +3, leave the shoe. Or you could just leave the shoe at an earlier, like now, you just take a break. When I say leave the shoe, just take a break. Now, the cool thing is, one of the reasons why I'm showing you this shoe is so that you can see, and even when you do your demo, you could see the frequency rate of us losing cycles. Because remember, it's not so much the cycle of 4 that we lose, it's games 3 and 4. Those are your higher minimal bet games, where if you lose a cycle, it's technically, when you think in terms of the bigger loss, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so there we go. Cool. Let's hold it at 9. Hold it at 9. Should hold at 9. There we go. All right, so it says banker. So we're only -1 back now, and you can see the consistency. Now, here's what's crazy. The algorithms, it's all about patterns, guys. Like, the more your system understands that and can maneuver with it, the better your system is. All right. And that's what's always been 7, 8, 9, 10. That's always been my goal, is to craft a system that produces that. All right. So that's a loss, 1 unit. It says player, so we'll do 2 units on player. So again, there's no reason to leave if you have a losing cycle in a shoe. It's even possible to have 2 losing cycles in a shoe, but it's not about overall, guys. Again, you'd have to study this. This is all I do, is study this stuff. You can see we won 2 units there, so we're back, almost back, or we're right back at even. All right, so what does it say? Player. So we go here on player. You just play it out until you've gotten back up. All right. So what we'll do here, once we are back up, it says we should be back up after this unit. This will be the time to take our break. Okay. But well, bam, right on the point. Okay, let's go ahead and win it here. This will be the time to go ahead and say we are now up. Okay. We should leave, but let's just continue to play it out. How much time do we have? 13. We're going to go ahead and play it all the way out. I hate to play it out just for the sake of losing, because we lost a set. We should be this now that we're up. This is when we take our break. Let's see if we can get one more out of here, and then we'll take our break, because I don't want to just show you playing for the sake of playing. I think the point that I needed to make, I made it. All right. So let's hopefully we can get a win. And we won't, unless it's a tie. Let's just see what happens. Okay. And it says we're going to go double on banker. But we were up. No, but that would have been the time. All right. But I just wanted to play it out because I do have a little more time. But this is how you manage the shoe. All right. Even if you had 2 losses, cycle losses in a shoe, I would say after 2 losses in a shoe, still don't leave the shoe. Just continue to stay. Stay right there. Stay right there in the shoe, because the amount of winning, as you can see, that we have is overwhelming. This process, it does an amazing job at deciphering pattern flaw, period. This is the reason why in this session we are now up 2 units. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how that's done. Playing through a shoe, we actually lost early and we were able to make it back. We can continue to play. Let's see, if we were to continue to play, we would have been on banker. And let's see if banker would have lost. Actually, banker would have won. So this is what I'm saying. We could have continued to play. But the more you do it, guys, it's not that you can't continue to play. You can. It's just that I know that a lot of us like to gamble. And that you don't have to even gamble here. You just have to play within the confines, okay, of the system. The system's going to get you there. You don't have to gamble. Just play within the confines. If you lose 2 in a row, that's still not even a time to leave. Why? Because the infrequency rate of us losing cycles are very, very small. Now, with that said, we have stop wins, 3 to 5 units, 2 to 5. I actually say that 2 to 5 units. 2 is even better than 3 or 5, but you can go there because we have that kind of leverage. Also, on the stop loss, we really don't necessarily have a stop loss. Over time, we're going to win. But what happens is that if you're in a shoe and you do have a losing cycle, you shouldn't leave the shoe. Only leave the shoe once you've hit a losing cycle and it comes back up. Then at that point, you could leave. you know what I mean, take your break or something like that. Or if you did decide that if it goes down and you come back up and you're just 3 units away from being back even and you wanted to take a break, sure. All that's apropos. We have a lot of leverage in what we're doing with this new Diamond Buster strategy. So hopefully this aids you and helps you make sense of what we're doing. By the way, guys, we would have won all of, like, had we just continued to play, we would have won all of this if we just continued to play. But I want to encourage more discipline first. All right. Once you understand the base framework of the discipline that's needed, from there, you can go forward. You can do more with the understanding. All right. With that said, guys, you can come here and try out the Diamond Buster strategy. You have to send me an email or come to the contact us form and just submit your general inquiry. You want to be a part of the team and or at least try the Diamond Buster strategy. We'll give you 24 hours. All right, guys, go to shadowmaxtrading.com. Until the next time, peace.